We're live, yeah, we're live. People, deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. I always appreciate you guys. And yeah, welcome to my live stream. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because once you're here, you're hooked. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I provide good content and I provide engaging content. So make sure you lot are hitting the like buttons. If you're new here, as I said, make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Once again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, thank you very much for all of you that have been supporting me over whatever duration you came across me, because we've hit 30,000 subscribers. Hopefully we can keep going. And as usual, good morning or good morning bordering on good afternoon to those of you over in the UK. Good morning, good evening, good night, whoever you are, wherever you are in this world. And I hope you're holding up and you're doing well and safe. Obviously tomorrow, well, later on today from 7:15, I'll be doing my live stream, my live watch along of the Arsenal versus City game in the quarterfinal of the EFL Cup or Cat Arabelle Cup or whatever they refer it to these days. Every day it changes. So make sure you're checking out the pinned message in the live chat, people. Information's there. 7:15 UK time, live watch along. Don't miss out. Please open up another tab and make sure you hit the like button on that video. So yeah, man, I'm happy that you're all tuned in. I'm happy that you're all doing well and safe. We've got a lot to speak about. It's a long day for me because I'm going to go and talk about this stuff, people. Then obviously whatever happens against Arsenal, City is a thing. Then I'll obviously be doing my live reaction stream. Tomorrow we'll talk about the game or review the game from a tactical point of view. So yeah, man, we've got a lot to do. The grind don't stop, especially as we approach the end of the year. Got to end the year on a high. So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody locked in. I appreciate all of you each and every time, people. What are you guys in the comments saying? Please let me know where you're watching from. Please let me know all of that sort of stuff and hit the like button. Footy Chaz has said, big up yourself, DG. No, big up you, my guy, because without you lot supporting the thing, there'd be no point of me being here. Big up the 49 people within here so far in these opening 2 minutes. It's time to go. Perez is probably referring to Arteta. Merry Christmas, Darren. Bit premature, but Merry Christmas in advance to you too. Morning, Lion Bar, man. Always see you in the comments. Shadow, I'm good, man. I hope you're doing well and safe. Emre's in the building. Good evening. One day I'll be a legend, my guy. One day I'll be a legend, but we keep pushing, we keep going. Thank you very much for the praise, as usual. I really appreciate all of you lot. One Love Drea said, yo, Deluded, been watching you for 2 years, but fully tuned into you now. You're a grinding inspirational, my guy. If I see you grinding, then I better start grinding too. Respect. And it means a lot, man. That means a lot. I'm always about proving people wrong. I've been on your radar for 2 years. So if you was a scout, you've been watching me for 2 years, but something has stopped you from joining the hype train. Either way, I'm happy you're here. But I say what, there's a dodgy one there. Big up yourself regardless, my guy. Really appreciate all of you lot. Really, thanks for tuning in. Mr. Toxic, I'm good. Was beginning to get worried, Ollie, but you came true, man. You came true. Check out the YouTube memberships on my page, people. Big up the YouTube members here. We got Joe in the building. We've got Yohan, Bimmer Zimmer, he's saying it's 5 a.m. in Canada. Big up yourself. I really appreciate the commitment levels. It's evening out there in Japan. Big up all the Japanese thugs out there that support me. Truths are about to be spoken. We're getting into it. I like to warm myself up in these live streams. I don't like to jump straight into the business. And I know a lot of you get on to me about that. I like to warm myself up. It's only 3 minutes. We're typically here for an hour or so. We're not going to be here for past that because we're doing our live. We've got live streams to follow. So yeah, man. Body has said, yeah, not gonna lie, your work rate is a madness. Most consistent football YouTuber. I mean, I've got it. I need to have that in it. Like, I ain't got the mad buzz that some man have, the crazy editing. I'm not on the social media hype train with the emotional thing. So there's nothing to bandwagon on. So the minimum is working hard, being consistent, and consistently being in you guys' faces and not doing things half-assed. That's the only thing I've got. Big up yourself, Kendro. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, we keep going. You lot are gassing me. I'm not gonna lie. You lot are gassing me. Morning, Jordan. Raza said you are a legend for us and Arsenal. You are our voice. I hope so, man. I just hope to portray I just hope you guys keep seeing me as someone that, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. Whatever my opinions is coming from a good place. I'm just here to talk about football and whatnot, people. Big up all the Indians locked in as well. It's crazy. We've got Israel in the building as well, with Japan, Israel, India, Canada, mad different places, man. Yo, DG, you on it today or another match? What are you talking about? If you're referring to my live streams, then yeah, I'll be, you know me, you're going to get this live stream. You're going to get the live watch along. You're obviously going to get the live reaction. And then tomorrow we'll go again, man. So it is what it is. SK, I don't know if I'm getting the recognition, but we keep pushing, man. We keep pushing. We take the stairs, with you lot hitting the like button. It's been making the difference. Hope you're good, John. Mr. Cool Boss is in the building. We've got East London locked in, live from Planet X, holding it down for the Australian ones. He's there, We've got Armenia, got South London. Big up all the South London ones. We've got Trinidad, as we always do. Namibia, Germany. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. How much different countries have I been thinking, man? It's crazy, man. Trevor has said, DG, what's good, bro? Can you react to some of your old videos? I was watching your reaction to Edu's appointment from last year. Your reservations were spot on. I'm not going to lie. I can't even remember what I said, but it must have been decent. And to be fair, Trevor, that's a decent sort of idea. I might explore that. So I've screenshotted your comment and we'll see, man. We've got a yard man out there in Glasgow. I really respect the grind. Exeter in the building. We've got Northwest London. We've got Northwest London in the building as well. And it's not even M. Big up M, one of the members. He's normally here. Essex, Dallas. Big up yourself, Christian, for being a member as well. Salute, DG. I'm always catching you on IG comments. Lol. Hey, man. I just use Instagram like a usual one. Like obviously I follow all the Arsenal people, and sometimes they make comments and I'm just like, lol. Like Sabaus's message is like, lol, stop giving me the mad speech and the galvanized speech. Show it to me on the football field. It doesn't make anything. Big up yourself as well, because I see you said you locked in from Glasgow. I knew Nigeria was going to be in the building, and it wouldn't be before too long. They locked in. Big up all the Nigerian ones. Nigeria in a healthy way. It scares me, man. Massive country like Nigeria with many different tribes and landmass and stuff. And it's a diverse and rich in culture. It means the world that you lot are tuning in, man. Really, we've got Qatar out here as well. Appreciate that. It's crazy. Newcastle / Australia, Essex again. Like Devil said, slap up the like button. We've got Birmingham in the building. Junior Gunner, no clue where you're from, but you said my dad was messing with your stuff last night, bro. We're hurting. Hey, man, I appreciate your dad for tuning in, man, really and truly. And I think it's weird because when I check my demographics, my highest viewers is like my age, which is 25 to 34. And then it just goes up and up. I don't really get like the teenagers watching, man, and stuff. And it was a bit of an eye opener. Maybe I'm not reactionary enough. I don't know how old you are. I'm not saying you're a teen, but I assume your dad's a big man in it. So is where it is. We've got Canvey Island. I used to play football against them, man, there. Canvey Island and them sort of sides there, man. Toured all around Essex. I wish you had something to accompany with this super chat, my guy. But nonetheless, thank you for your £2.99. I'm going to get myself some Smarties and whatnot, maybe in preparation for the game. I appreciate your $2.99. I just wish you had something to accompany it. But big up yourself, and it's appreciated. Predictions for the Man City Arsenal game. The good thing is, football is one on paper. I mean, football isn't one on paper. That it would be problem. Football isn't one on paper. There's every reason to be negative in terms of us Arsenal fans going into this, purely because we're not seeing anything within our team that suggests it's different. So I can only personally see an L in this game, an L against Chelsea, and an L against Brighton. I want to be wrong. Of course I want to be wrong. You think I want to sit here being negative with you guys, hurting with you guys, but I can only see anything other than an L. What I hope, like I said, football isn't one on paper. Go out there, have some heart, have some desire, have some self-respect, play for yourself, play for your fans, play for the rest of it, all of that stuff. The mental aspect. There's 99 reasons for you lot not to believe you can beat Manchester City, but you lot have to focus in on that one reason and be galvanized and move to it. And what I want to see is that. What I want to see is soldiers in the trenches. What I want to see is fearless in that. We expect you to lose. We expect you to show no heart. We expect City to wipe the floor of you. So use that to your advantage. There's still going to be crazy headlines if we go out, but use that to your advantage, people. Go and use that. And do these players have that mental capacity? Will they stand up to be counted? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. So my predictions is a City win. You know, I'm going to say 3-0 City. We might even hold a hiding. Of course, I want to be wrong. I want the Arsenal that played City in the FA Cup to turn up again. But is that going to happen? There's no Partey. There's no Aubameyang. Again, these are reasons for me, if I'm a part of these players, to pull together and show even more fight. But have I seen all of the things I'm saying that you're seeing coming out of my mouth, and some of you that have been making these similar comments, we were saying this against Spurs. We were saying this against Villa before the international break, or after, whenever it was. We were saying it about Leeds. We were saying it last game against Everton. So I'm sounding like a broken record. Seeing believing is it's down to them and there to give me some sort of fight, some sort of heart, some sort of determination. Beyond that, I'm not too sure. Big up all the members. I'm seeing you, Mr. Adlib, in the building. Devil Delight has said, do you think the name Arsenal alone has an entity enough to draw top draw players? Yeah, because money talks, and at the end of the day, money is the only thing that can attract Arsenal. Like I said on Curtis Shaw's channel yesterday, big up Curtis. Let's get him to 20,000 subscribers for the end of the year. Go and support the guy. But like I said on his channel, I'm beginning to doubt the credibility of players signing for this club, because it's either two words. You know, when I see a Aubameyang new contract, when I see Saliba coming to this team, when I see, fair enough, we activated Partey's release clause, and let's be honest, he did get better finances. I have to question, are they lying to you? Like, are Arsenal deluding you? You know, are they having the carrot? Like, did they use that carrot of, yeah, we're a sleeping giant, we're trying to return back to the top? You know, we had Thierry Henry and Bergkamp and Ian Wright and all these sort of things. You know, we're trying to buy these sort of players. We're trying to do that. If they're trying to, if they have, I think that's how they're twanging players, you know, and the London aspect. So if you're deluding players that come to this club like Gabriel and Partey and telling them and selling them this dream, as well as keeping players that you're trying to return to former glory and things, then I think they're being lied to. And that borders on being delusional if you really think Arsenal are going to do this. Or in a cynical way, let's be honest, money is part of everything. You know, a lot of players have to consider money. There's nothing wrong with being money hungry. Half of the people we praise are money hungry. Tony Adams was money hungry. You know, half of the Arsenal players from the 80s and whatnot and beyond, and 80s and 90s, were money hungry. You watch any documentary, 9 times out of 10, what do you hear them say? They're speaking like, oh, we didn't feel the wages was there with this and that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Our old manager George Graham was making sure he looked over his own pocket. But it's when that becomes, David Dean cared about money, but he cared about the club. It's when that becomes the only thing. And I'm starting to believe man are just going to come here for the finances, obviously the London aspect, and it's a football club, but it's like a social club. It's like there's no real pressure. Nobody, you lose a game and say, there's tomorrow sort of thing. It's a calm thing. Look at Willian. Did Willian come to this club because he truly believed we could get Champions League and all of these things that we hear are said? Or was it, yeah, I want to stay in London, you know, nice little 3-year deal there. There's even rumors there's an option of another one. You see what I'm saying, people? You get it? So we have to spend money. We have to punch, you know, we have to punch. We, even in our best of days, we were punching with signing Mesut Ozil at the time, punching with Alexis Sanchez at the time. You know, these things can be done. It just needs to, you know, it just needs to be a mentality. And I'm not going to lie, regardless of where any team is, not just mine, I think in the Premier League, you can attract whoever, provided you put the money on the table, my dude. Big up all the Birmingham ones locked in. We've got South Africa as well. Bro, that's why I rate Teeny. Teeny ain't got nothing to say. Teeny does his talking on the football field. I don't need nothing else, man. Marcus, you're saying wavy names. You know, Leon Bailey's in decent form and he's a yard man, so I'd love him. Pedro Neto, no chance. You check my videos I was speaking before he went to Wolves. I've been rating John McGinn's thing at Villa, but again, a myth. And why would you want to leave Villa for Arsenal unless there's money on the table? And again, the London aspect. So I'm not too sure. Trust me, my guy. Worldwide settings. Kenya in the building. You know, Greece. I saw Greece in the comments as well. I didn't miss you out, but we've got Cyprus. You know, we've got Thornton Heath, South London tugs. You've got Peckham in the building. You know, what's Mr. Adlu saying? I've been here since 10K. Proud of the growth. Congratulations on 30K. Thank you very much. You lot gassed me. There was a comment yesterday that I was here when you had 100 subs and it was this and that. I'm like, raw. Man, them have been here from the start, innit? You know the thing. Come on, Marcus Garvey tried to do a thing for the people. Big up Dallas. Yo, you're 25, thought you was 19. Good looks, man. Good looks and no facial hair. I can do everything but grow a beard. So you see when Arsenal, you know, we're bordering on Deluded getting a beard and some sideburns before we win the Premier League, people. And if you pre it, man's even getting some chin hair, little bum fluff thing there. So Arsenal need to get their thingies on. Like if you looked at dramatically how much my own face has changed. I used to have some long ass hair. Like, we've changed since the last time we've won a league title, and it scared me. It's like we've gone through probably a generation now. If you're younger than me, a year max, what, 2 years max, you ain't seen Arsenal win the league. You've been alive, but you ain't seen Arsenal win the league. It's like we're losing a generation of fans, or we've got a generation of fans that only know about past glory, that have ever only been here where our highest achievement has been the top four or the FA Cup. It's quite crazy in that regards, in my humble opinion. You know, we've got Germany again, you know, again, Greece out in the building, man. Oh, of course, hey, it's only football is where I know bare places like Thurrock, Tilbury. You know, playing Thurrock is a bit racist, I'm not gonna lie, but Thurrock, Tilbury, Canvey Island, what's that other place, man? Near Basildon. It's not Basildon, it's one next place as well. All them sort of sides there. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you're checking out the pinned message as well. Body has said 18, bro. Your content is down to earth and realistic, just like Kurdish and Turkish. You man speak facts. Big up them, man, and big up yourself for the praise, my guy. Really means a lot. Lewisham in the building. Man, I've been here since 13K. Croydon. Hey, South London's got some little army thing going on in my videos, man. You lot are going mad. Where's the North Londoners, man? Where's the Evertons and the Tottenhams and the Stokeys and the Stamford Hills and all of them? Man said, what's your favorite African team when you're following the AFCON? It's a neutral thing, but I'll just follow. I'm not gonna lie, I follow whoever Arsenal's players are at, like the majority of Arsenal players. It's a neutral thing. Ghana haven't been as good as they've been previous years, but I tend to gravitate towards Ghana and Ivory Coast. Nigeria play, Nigeria get supported. I'll support anyone, man. I ain't, I'm of African heritage, clearly due to slavery and the rest of it, but directly I'm not. So I'm not really got allegiances. So I just enjoy the tournament. 9 times out of 10 support Arsenal players or support the nations out. Like, I like to see Ghana in particularly do well, and as well as Nigeria, bro. Let's get to 35,000, man. Come on. You lot are gassing me with this 30K business. That my friend says, who's that DG on the way to 50K? That's what we're doing, man. When I hit 50K, I think it will really sink in. It's sunk in at 30. Don't get it twisted, you know. Big up the Russian Duns as well. Russia, first time I've seen Russia in the chat. Everyone hit the like button, people. Everyone hit up the like button. We're going to get into it in a sec. But I always love to give time to you lot, man. People, you lot get on to me about the way I start my live streams. I chat with you guys too much. I love it, man. It helps warm me up and whatnot, man. Big up from Oklahoma, USA. Stupid o'clock around them ties there. So, Anderson, I respect that. Bro, Enfield, man said Enfield, Manor House. You got Lewisham, Croydon. South London, love me, man. I love it. You lot are lit. Elephant and Castle. We finally got some North London tugs. Man's been here since 1.2K. I respect that. You're getting very close to the neck of the woods. When I see N18, N17, N9, ENs, all of them sort of things, I respect it because we're very close to home. Stoke-on-Trent, we don't like them Stoke boy there when we play them, but I got time for you, comrade. Big up the Stoke ones. I think the only time I've gone to Stoke is Alton Towers because that's technically in Stoke, right? Haven't been to Stoke any other time other than that. Valencia in the building, big up Valencia. Derek, big up the members. Hey, ready to get it dished out. I hope I'm wrong. Hey, man. Because what can I say? It's a mixture of good looks. Shout out to my mom and dad for this thing. It's a mixture of God placing good looks. And, I just try to keep happy. My friends would tell me I'm an extremely grumpy guy. I'm the granddad of the group and I'm always moaning and stuff. I love a good moan, but I'd say just not taking life too seriously, man. And if you got wrinkles, you're stressed out, my brother, Hopefully you get through that. Big up Portugal as well. Big up Portugal. We're going to get into it in a sec, people. E6, come on, man. I got time for E6. We've got Austria in the building. Could a battering lose Arteta his job? I don't think so. Apparently, he's got 7 days to hold up his job, but we're going to get into that. Like I said, we got E6. We got Stockwell. We got Finland. We got Edmonton Green, local. We got Clapham. N16, so that's either Stokey or Stamford Hill. My neck of the woods. We got Isle of Wight, we got Slough, we got Isle of Wight, Northwest again. We've got the Emirates. Lord Peckham of Lord Harris of Peckham is in the building, aka Turkish, mate. Okay, is Turkish in the live chat or is that a little joke thing? I don't know, but big up Turkish regardless. Portugal, Chinkford. 50K, you should get a bottle of Henny and do a Q&A. Boy, I might get cancelled out there, man. I might get done out here really and truly. Sometimes I have to really watch my speech, but we maybe get me to 50K and we'll chat about that, man. Giving a like doesn't cost a thing. You're 100% right. India again in the building. Ridiculous. Big up the 366 of you in here so far. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Lithuania. You know, I look good for someone who supports Arsenal. Boy, hey, you got Paris, you got South Africa, you got Hull, you got Southwest 6. Come on, people, you're violating though, man. 375 of you at the time, and there's 158 likes. Come on, let's pattern up a bit, man. Lee Valley, I assume that's North London. You've got Bristol. You got a fellow Nottingham lad. Big up Curtis as well. Bristol, Ethiopia. Basically, you know all the ends because of football. Yes and no. I mean, when you're I mean, when you're of a family of immigrants or the descendants of immigrants, you know, your family are typically going to live in the Hackneys, in the South Londons, in the North, certain areas of North London. So you're naturally going to go to them sort of areas and branch out and things like that. But football is a big part, especially in North. Like I have a lot of friends just big from football. Big up my Somali tugs as well. Big up Somalia, Lincolnshire, Spanish Town, my JA ones. I love you guys. Come on. Hey, JA ones, my Jamaican people, send me some sorrow. We're getting to Christmas. Christmas is soon there, man. Come on. I need some sorrow. I know you lot. I got your thing brewing and that. Hey, man, big up JA. Come on. N19, Birmingham. But enough of all of that, people. Big up yourselves. Keep them coming, you know. Down under, and we've got Cambridge, you know. Big up everybody. There's 371 of you, you know. What was I gonna say? Let's get into it. Let me share my screen with you guys. Let's go to the Google tab. You know, let's go to, you know me, I love a Google's doc, people. And as you can see, we've got a lot to speak about. We're going to speak about Catalin Serjan. You know, you've got my notes on him. We've even got a cheeky plug of my old video to come, you know, which I'm going to drop in a message. We've got holding, the cost of relegation. We've got transfers, apparently 7 days to save his job. That's an article I'm working on for my written content, so ignore that. That's just a mental note. But where should we start, people? Where do you lot want to start? I'll give you lot the choice. Where do you lot want to start? True. Big up yourself. Pretoria Road, you're local, you're near Meridian and that. Hey, where do you lot want to start, people? Where should we start? Hey, bring me. Where do you lot want to start in terms of the articles and whatnot? Someone drop me what's something, man. I'm trying to do this in an interactional thing. So yeah, smash up the like buttons. Where should we start, people? Should we start with the transfer? Should we start with Rob Holding? Should we start with Catalin Serjan? Where should we start, people? You know what? The man them have said Rob Holding. That's the first one. So we're going with Rob Holding. Pardon me. Let's go with Rob Holding. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen the talk about Rob Holding signing a new deal. And for me, you know, I think he said, before I give my personal opinion, I think it's admirable. You know, I think you have to admire a man. You know, he was close to going out the door and he's staying. And I think in relation to Rob Holding, I think Rob Holding's a decent lad. I think he might not, you can question his ability, but I think his mentality is decent half the time. He wants to win and things like that. I would be open to selling him for 15, 20 odd million, but I don't mind him staying. I don't mind him as part of the squad. I don't think Holding is amazing, but I don't think he's good. I don't think he's amazing, but I don't think he's bad. I think he could be part of the squad. I do think at times people have hung him out to dry, but saying that, at times he does some questionable stuff. He steps out for no reason. He's caught flat-footed, but I have to admire him because he's one of the few players that, whether I rate him or not, I never see him talking nonsense or peeing me off. And I think this reflects his stature in the team or where Arteta sees him, because I think obviously on the football field, whether we agree with it or not, he's giving Arteta something he wants to see, because, you know, he's gone from potentially going out on loan to potentially going to Newcastle or Leeds to playing permanently. Actually, you know, when you look at games like against City where he was injured and he didn't play and David Luiz had to step in for him, he's done well. And obviously he's had the captaincy and things. So this might be someone that Arteta sees as coming into himself and developing. Also for me as well, I'm not too sure when he was under contract till, but I think this is to protect potential resale value as well. And things. So yeah, apparently we're in talks over a new deal for him. Apparently Mikel Arteta rates him highly, as you can see in this article, but apparently Arsenal have reportedly opened talks with Rob Holding over a new deal with Arsenal. The centre-back has 2.5 years left on his contract, but the Gunners could look to tie him down to an even longer arrangement. So first and foremost, that's what I want to see, whether I rate Holding or not. At 25, next year have a year left. We need to protect resale value if there is any. I only think you're making 15, 20 odd on Holding. Maybe if you could try a bit, if we had better sellers at this club with the English premium, maybe a bit more. And we will make a handsome profit. We spent 2 million on the man. He's going to be sold for 20 odd million if he ever goes and whatnot. So I see that as protecting his resale value. I see that as the first sort of confirmation among centre halves, because our centre mid situation is a mess, as you lot can see. People, centre midfield is a mess. Apart from Partey, he's the only one with ability. But apart from Partey, there's question marks. If Joe Willett goes on loan, Sabas isn't coming back from his loan spell. And then he's shown his true level over the last few games. Xhaka just simply isn't good enough. And again, is heavily linked with a move away. So the whole landscape could change. And we know the whole landscape at centre-half needs to change, because apparently we're looking at signing a right-sided centre-half. And, in true Arsenal fan fashion, you've got to be a very special club to have 8 centre-halves on the books, and as many, if you wanted to include the young G's on loan. And still be talking about centre-halves week in, week out, year in, year out. Clearly, we're doing something wrong. So it's the same with Gabriel. Apart from Gabriel, who is going to be his partner? For me, Saliba. But we all know what we're seeing with Saliba, where he's ready, he's not. Personally, I think throw him in at the deep end. Look at Fofana, what he's doing. You think Fofana hasn't had tough moments? Go and ask Leicester fans. He got ripped against Liverpool, but he's come back strong. I do think you can learn on the job, learn from mistakes. And ironically, like Holding, like Mavropanos, I think we're going to get to a stage where we're in danger with Saliba, where I get it. Sometimes we bang on for players to start, and I see why they don't start. I saw that when Mavropanos played against Watford away a couple of years ago, or sometimes with Holding. But at the same time, not play. You can train as much as you can, but you need to play. And centre halves, they've got to learn on the job. As a centre half, you got to be proactive. You can only become better proactiveness by being more street smart and seasoned. You can only get that through going through those tough moments. Saliba and all these young centre halves, they're going to look good when teams are sitting back. We've got bare possession. We're playing passes. But what happens when he switches off for a moment? He's took his eye off a defender. The defender's raced through on goal and scored. Or like against Diallo against Metz, where he can't get near him physically. He can't get near him in terms of marking. He's stronger than him in the air. These are the things they've got to learn, for all these players. It's like Balogun. Balogun scores goals for fun as a young G, but he's played 61 minutes for Arsenal. If he plays 10 games in the senior game, Arsenal or somewhere else, what's the landscape going to change? These players need to be, in a healthy way. You lot love an analogy, but in a healthy way, throwing them in the deep end, throwing them in the swimming pool and seeing if they can swim, sort of thing. Everyone can swim in the shallow end where you can stand up. That's the training and the occasional cup game. Throw them in. So I think with Gabriel, there's no question. There's still question marks over who is going to be a centre half. There's talk of bringing in the next man, as you lot heard, people. There's talk of bringing in the next man. Gabriel's here. Talk of bringing in the next man. Gabriel, Saliba, this new centre half, and Holding with a new deal. That confirms to me the 5 centre halves. Now things can change, but those are the 5 centre halves in it. And then you have to wonder, what are we going to do with Marie? Because Marie is playing under 23s games. Clearly, he was brought in as a squad player. I don't know what's going on with Marie. Callum Chambers, Arteta talks about his adaptability. I'd imagine Callum Chambers is someone allowed to go. Mavropanos has either been in talks or has signed a new deal, if I remember correctly. So is that to put him in the shop window, or is he going to have a future here? The Medleys, the Clarks, the Ballards, the McGuinnesses, they're all doing well on loan. But is there going to be a situation where they play here? I'm not too sure. So the only thing I'm really getting from here is that at 25, we're trying to protect Holding's resale value. We're trying to have some sort of confirmation. And whether I rate Holding or not, I have to admire the come up, really and truly. Again, ironically, he scored an own goal when he got to captain the thing. And I'm not too sure on the length of the contract and whatnot. But yeah, like you can see here, there was a U-turn. And to be fair, Holding and Gabriel started quite a lot of games. Maybe Holding's rise is coinciding with the fall of David Luiz. We know David Luiz has been dropped for United. Technically, he was dropped for City away, but didn't play. But played because of an injury. Obviously, we've heard the talk of the bust-ups and all of these sort of things. So maybe he's seeing Holding as the leader. And obviously, like I said, on the topic of Luiz, we're hearing about David Luiz causing problems and the rest of it. Personally, if he is doing that, you have to admire him, because on the field, I never saw none of that. But yeah, it's a come up to Holding. But like Arteta said at that time, I said to him, change your mind, because you're not going anywhere. Rob is another one who stands for every value we want at the football club. So again, like I said, I can't really get on Rob Holding's attitude, but that's what he wants to see. Rob Holding probably gives no problems in that regard. He said he had a really difficult time, but he trained, and why would I have to let him go? He's already playing. What more do you want? You know. So yeah, man, shout out to Rob Holding, I guess, whether you rate him or not. For me, it protects our resale value. Not that we spent the biggest on him. I'm sure Arsene Wenger is somewhere smiling, saying, I'm sorry he only cost 2 million in true fashion, and he's probably smiling about Olivier Giroud as well. What are you lot saying in that, man? I really rate McGuinness, and if make sure you're paying attention to my loan watch people. You've seen him moving like the Irish Ronald Koeman and stuff, the modern day centre half. The problem is there's a lot of issues in relation to that. I've tried with Turkish. It's proven very difficult, man. He's got to reply to messages, but big up Turkish. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure. Big up the Dublin ones in the building. Wherever you are, it's 4 a.m. So it's stupid o'clock and you're watching DG. I appreciate that. Big up yourself, Darren. You said we'd rather sell Holding and get a more talented centre half. I'm with that. Like I said, if we can get a 20 mil and a sell-on clause for Holding, I'm on that. But as you know, our club can't really sell man for peas. We got him for 2 million. I don't mind him being part of the squad, like a squad player and things like that. But I agree. I'd like to bring in another talented centre half. For me, in the ideal world, it's Gabriel and Saliba. I would like to bring in a sort of 25, 26 sort of season sort of vet, maybe for a lesser profile, someone as a bridge player, because although I rate the partnership potentially Gabriel and Saliba can have, we can't be naive. That's a 22-year-old and a 19-year-old, or however old Saliba would be if he does get an opportunity. They will show their quality and they would learn on the job. But at times they would show their inexperience. And when one's going through a loss of form and they need to get taken out of the team, I do think experience is overrated, but it cannot be overstated. And I do think if we can find that bridge player, because again, I don't think the world of Holding, but has he been the bridge player potentially for Gabriel? David Luiz probably a better example. I was hoping that could be Pablo Mari, but I don't know where we see Pablo Mari, people. Honestly, I don't know where the club see Mari, because again, we talk up his qualities, but I don't really see him playing, sort of thing. So we'll have to see what happens, people. But for me, it protects the resale value of Rob Holding. What can I say, people? Big up yourselves. So yeah, man, Darren, I agree with that. In an ideal world, for me, Gabriel, Saliba, new centre half. They're my three that are going to play. And then you have some others that can complement the side. Holding, you could be a squad player. Europa League is your thing. Cup games is your thing. And then that fifth one is probably there for a Marie or a Chambers or someone that can fight for that spot, sort of thing. Moa said, our issue must be scouting then. Bro, it is scouting. Our issue is the lack of investment through the man at the top. But the little pennies that are there, there's not really an investment and there's not really a plan, really, sort of thing. I definitely agree, man. I like Chambers. I think before Chambers' injury, he was holding it up. I don't think he's ever going to be creme de la creme, top of the class. I think Chambers can be part of the squad, but to be fair, we've got too many of them. And I also think one thing that probably goes in Holding's favour and could go for Chambers is the homegrown rule. We need to keep homegrown players. As you can see, Arsenal are kind of struggling in that regards. I know there's a bunch of academy ones, but yeah, man, that's probably it. But like I said, I want a top class centre half and things like that. Big up yourself for the praise. So yeah, man, I know a lot of you are not happy. Big up yourself for the super chat. We cannot throw youngsters to the deep end without proper world-class players around them. It will hamper their growth and will affect them mentally 100%, but at this point, you might as well, because these experienced players are moving mad. I would take John Stones, but based on his form, he ain't coming. I like Rudiger. He's a bit hot and cold. He could definitely play for Arsenal right now, because our centre-halves are on the base or on the floor. But admittedly, I would like to go for someone. And this is why I get at scouting, Carl. Again, it's easy for me to sit here and say that, but you can't find, like Edu, you're meant to have the Brazilian network. You can't find that 25-year-old Brazilian lad who nobody's really looking at but can be a competent job, or you can't liaise with people who, because let's be honest, just because he works for Brazil doesn't mean, or worked for Brazil, doesn't mean every executive worked for Brazil. Let's just say, because of the language, let's just say there's a scout who worked in Portugal and is now working in Brazil, and Edu struck up a relationship with him, and he can go, "Hey, yo, bro, I know you're doing up the Brazil thing, but is there anyone that you know in the Portuguese league or anyone around Europe?" He could say, "Nah, mate, I ain't got no one, but my boy who used to be a scout at Benfica, he's saying this guy." These are the sort of thing, and that's why I don't mind having agents and chatting to agents, but I don't think we utilize contacts or phone books enough, people, and that's why we find ourselves in this position, man. For me personally, I don't know for Marie yet. I put Marie there by default. But I think Gabriel, Saliba, New Donny, Holding, and Marie would be it. I think Chambers can stay and be a sort of jack of all trades, master of none. He can do up the centre half thing, fullback and centre mid. He's been played all about. But I do think the club will be open to listening to offers for Donny personally. So yeah, man. Allow me, people. I got to enjoy this thing. Well, you'd imagine David Luiz is gone after this season. This will be his last one. Hope so, because we ain't got nothing else. I feel you. If you don't feel he's good enough, you know. To be fair, we've beat Barcelona with some poor players. We beat Real Madrid with Senderos and Flamini left back. So I know Arsene Wenger isn't here, and it's a long way around that. But yeah. Big up everyone. So that's it in relation to Rob Holding, people. That's literally it in relation to Rob Holding. Let me mark the Holding one as done. Which one do you guys want next? I'm pretty sure you guys said Arteta and transfers. So let's get into that one, people. Let me just pattern it for you guys. Is it changing the screen for you guys? Yay! I found a new way of bussing this. Mad, I don't have to keep closing tabs and things. Big up the South African tugs. My guy, in relation to predictions, I assume you're talking about today. I'm going to say 3-1 City. And that's me being nice. We could get mash up, really and truly. But football isn't one on paper. I hope to be wrong. I wouldn't mind David Luiz in midfield, but I think we're too late in the... Well, this year we could do it, but we're too late in the day. He's going to play centre-half. And that's around it, people. And that's the problem, 1-1. Too many average players in part of the thing. But is it Marie average? Like, I think Marie's average. And you can't be... I'm not getting at Marie. I think Marie could be a competent option, but I'm not necessarily sold on Marie in the little things I've seen. But as you can see here, people, the planning is done. And for me, that continues what Arsenal have had their media mouthpieces like David Ornstein say, we're well ahead of our planning for summer 2021. Now, seeing is believing. Just us as fans, just because this is what I say to fans. Don't think you and the club are on the same page. We know we need a centre mid, but the centre midfield or the caliber or who you want is going to be different, sort of thing. Do you get it? What they bring in and what we want are two different things. So let's just put it to a thing where they can surprise us, sort of thing. And I don't think this sort of language helps, because in the summer we heard months before the window, what did we hear? Oh, we're ready to react in 3 different ways, whether we get the Champions League, whether the corona effects are still here. Instead, we spent the whole summer playing on our hands. And if I'm looking at it, it was easy to get Partey. Clearly, once you get an agreement with Partey in the release clause, Atletico Madrid have no leg to stand on. And we clearly tried to say to Atletico, in my opinion, we don't want to pay the release clause. Can we swap Torreira? Can we do this and that? And when it became clear, we went and got Partey. The Aura thing didn't work. What I want to see is, if you go after your first couple of targets and you don't get them, have you got other players? Because like I said, if you don't get Aura, or you don't get Shabozlai, or you don't get whoever we've been linked with, you should have 5, 6, 7 other names. What are the scouts doing? Like I said, the minute it became apparent that we couldn't sign anybody in terms of midfield, in addition to Partey, the work should have been put together for January and beyond that. We all know January is a tough time to do business. You've got the COVID. Players don't really want to... Clubs don't really want to sell players, so you're going to have to overpay. People know you're desperate, definitely in Arsenal's case. For some players, depending on who you go for, you've got Euros to consider. So we'll have to see. And obviously, it's difficult. Arsenal do like to do a lot in the January window, but I can't see fireworks happening. But we'll have to see. And this language isn't going to help anybody, if we don't follow through, because we heard we're ready to react. We heard we're well ahead of planning for summer 2021. And now we say the planning is already done. So I hope in the months that have built up to January, the signings have been done. I don't want us to wake up in January and say, oh, God, we better sign a midfielder. We better sign a creative man, because most of us we all knew we needed 2 midfield, 3 in addition to Partey's skill set, and I'd say 2 other midfielders. But I'm pretty sure many people were like, just get a Partey and someone that's a more of a creative sort of number 8. Me personally, I think we need, excluding Partey, I think we need 2 midfielders minimum, because when Partey's not there, it's Kalam. We should be looking to sell El Nene. Forget that new deal talk. So buy us, unless they're going to give us to him for 3 or for 2 million. Do not extend that loan spell unless a miracle happens. Joe Willock again. If Arteta's job is on the line, is he going to start Joe Willock? No, and he probably, like Eddie, needs to go and play 20, 30 games somewhere, not these occasional Europas, because he's a duck out of water. Xhaka is just a terrible footballer. So for me, you need two midfielders. If you're going to bring back Guendouzi and Torreira, I'm all for that. You know, I'd rather Guendouzi than Torreira. Admittedly, I was the other way around, but I'm not sure for Torreira's mentality. I think with Guendouzi, he's made his bed and he's had to lie in it, so we can't really complain. But at the same time, I feel, you know, bygones can be bygones. Maybe a year out can do things. And for me, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I'd agree, you know, if a man, it's a bit like Chesney and Wenger. If I was Arteta with Guendouzi, or if I was Wenger with Chesney, the man there got abilities. They've played them in big games, but it's a thing where at a point, the antagonizing and the nonsense, it gets beyond the ability. And look at all the things Arteta has to do. Or if me or you were managers right now, what we'd have to do with Arsenal, would we want to have to deal with this scrutiny and all this stuff? And on top of that, Guendouzi's nonsense? Probably not. But then for me, it doesn't really make sense, because I think, you know, Guendouzi's young, he makes mistakes, and fundamentally, I think the bulk of his problems are coming from a right place. He just needs a flick in the ears, tell him to fix up. And for me, I hear the no nonsense disciplinarian angle that Arteta's coming with. I hear it. It makes sense. Zero policy, non-negotiables. But these non-negotiables have vanished. These things don't make sense. When I look at, you know, we're hearing the stuff with David Luiz. You know, again, maybe because David Luiz is more of a senior man than Guendouzi in the game, there's a different leg. But, you know, if he's a disruptive one, why did you give him a new deal and he's still here? You know, Willian, the same nonsense, you know. Xhaka apparently you're hearing. So it's not making sense. So if them man there can come back, surely also Guendouzi can. And for me, I'd love Torreira, because, you know, he's probably the most similar to Partey. Not got as much on the ball, but looks to put a foot in. When Partey's not there, like I said, what happens? If we go into games like today, actually, against City, where I don't expect us to dominate on the ball, could you go with a Torreira, Partey, and Maitland-Niles in there and just, you know, a workman thing, or even bring in a creative man in there? But, you know, we'll have to see. But apparently the planning is done. Arteta says Arsenal are ready for the next two transfer windows. So again, them and they have set themselves up to fail, people, if that does not happen. You know, if that does not happen, you've set yourself up to fail. The Spanish tactician was adamant the club were ready for the next two movement periods as they battle to get out of the slump. I'm not going to read that again. We all know we're languishing in 15th. We've only got 14 points from 14 games. We're only 4 points ahead of Fulham, who did us a favour in drawing. We know we've got the Cat Yarabel clash today. And apparently Arteta has explained that Arsenal's technical director, Edu, had a plan in place for player movement and to and from the club, while he himself will look to improve it. And, you know, outgoings is just as important. Like I said, it's difficult doing things in January, as you guys know. But, you know, can you get Socrates gone on a free? Mesut Ozil is not going to leave in January, but can you do something in that regards? You know, can you move on a couple of these players? Loan spells as well. And it's a difficult one doing in January, because if it was up to me, you know, Mustafi's up for sale. Socrates is different because he's not registered, but Mustafi can go, El Nene can go, Xhaka can go, Eddie and Joe Willock can go out on loan. More so Eddie, I'd rather keep Joe for the squad, but that's my thing. It's like we're disrupting our squad. Everybody's playing poor, but it's like we've got to look at the numbers. I badly want Xhaka gone. But if Xhaka and El Nene go and we fail to bring in a centre midfielder and we just look at our options now, what's happened there? So I don't think there's going to be too much movement. There should be, you know, hopefully you move on Mustafi, because, you know, what is he here for? He's marginalised. He's got a year left. You've even made him captain. Move a man on. You know, you've got Saliba. If you're going to loan him out, fair play. If you're not, that's the opportunity is there for Donny. You know, make a decision. Outgoings is important. I would sell El Nene, but you probably have to keep him for a year, sort of thing. Again, if offers come, things are different. This is how they're going to suck themselves up, you know. The planning is done. What we want to do in January and in the summer, Arteta said. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes not, depending on a lot of factors. Edu is dealing with that at the moment, and I'm focused with all the games. We don't have much time to spend energy on that now, because it's very clear what we want to do. And to be fair, Edu said we need a creative man. So minimum, I want to see a creative man. You know, I think we need two. I don't think we need a number 8. I think we need a creative 8.5, you know, like a Bruno Fernandes. Like in an ideal world, you'd play Bruno Fernandes in a 10, but he's not quite that. You know, and in midfield, he tries that pass, but he is quite wasteful. But in the same sense, that's the modern day now. You need dynamism. You need things like that. The poetry in motion, creative midfielders, at least where Arsenal is concerned, is done, sort of thing. And to be fair, whatever man say about Bruno, what has he got? Like, had a hand in 27 Premier League goals in 28, joining in January. Of course, some of it he's been bumming it. There's been penalties. There's been, you know, you're passing it to man, they're dancing past 5 man. But that's the sort of impact we need. We don't have that. You know, we don't have that. We need the modern day midfielder. Mine, I would love what I call an 8.5 is Kevin De Bruyne. Like, in an ideal world, for me, you give him a free roll in midfield. But he's not quite a 10. He's not an 8. He's an 8.5. He does the midfield stuff, but he does the creativity. That's what we need. And as well, forget Kevin De Bruyne's ability. You know, we need players that can drive with a ball. We need players that can pick out a pass. Like you saw against Everton, El Nene and Ceballos are hiding from the back line when they're trying to play out. We need men that want the ball, that will take it in one touch, make a space, try to clip it over the top for a Bamian and stuff. Why is David Luiz the most creative man in the side? Gabriel the same. This shows you the tactics wrong with what Arteta is deploying, because he's setting up the team to do stuff, but also tells you the dire personality and poor options we have within our team, people. The article's gone on to say Arsenal have only won one of their last 10 Premier League matches with 7 defeats, seeing the North London side tumble down the league table. Bro, so is that it in relation to the transfers? Edu is dealing with it. My job is to make the most out of the squad and the players that we have. And personally, what have I said to you lot, people? Again, in different terms, but what have I said? We know some of these players are poor, but I have said Arteta has to get more of a tune out of these players, because man, we're calling him the Messiah when Mustafi was playing well, when Xhaka was revitalized, you know, and many other examples. So man have to get onto him when the squad's not performing. You need to get more of a tool. Man say it's not his players, that's true, but Arteta's been allowed to say who he doesn't want. He's been allowed to marginalize players. Carlo Ancelotti, how many of them Everton players are his? Yeah, you could say Ben Godfrey and that, but Calvert-Lewin's not his. He's made Calvert-Lewin play like a bad boy, you know, and he was missing injured players like us. So the excuses can't work. He's got to get more of a tune. There's not one single player that I'd say is excelling. There's not one young player that I could say Arteta's improved greatly. I thought Nelson was going to be the guy, but he's not done that. Saka, obviously, yeah, I'm not going to lie, he's improving. Saka, he's playing Saka. Saka's getting better game by game. But, you know, Arteta, out of all the things Emre did wrong, one of the things was blooding him. I ain't seen him blood him, man. I ain't seen him put a hand on these young players. I ain't seen him find a little role for these experienced players. Of course, I've seen spells of form with Mustafi, with Xhaka, with David Luiz, with Rob Holding, even Pepe towards the end of the season, Ceballos. You know, I've seen good little bouts of Eddie even when he first initially got to start over Laka. I've seen good little dribs and drabs and stuff, but I haven't seen consistency. So when there's not a single player that hasn't improved, when there's not a single system in the team, as much as I get at the Kroenkes and those above him, this is what I mean, people. The things that Arteta can control, he's not controlling them well enough. He's been here a year, not one single attacking player is excelling, not even his William Donny. So like he said, my job is to make the most out of this squad, the players that we have. We know what we want to do and we will try to execute it, knowing that the actual context, market and what we've been through makes it difficult. Okay, cool. He also went on to say in this article, every possible scenario that can happen in the Premier League is considered here. What is really affecting results? What is really affecting what's happening through the game in 96 minutes? And it works. Please give me no statistics. He said, but then it is football. It's not basketball. In basketball, you shoot 50 times and the opponent does it once and you win every single game. It doesn't work like that in football. You can do it the opposite way around and lose 1-0. We lost against Burnley, conceding 0 shots on target from an opponent, but you let yourself down from set pieces with a Aubameyang's own goal and the poor marking. Also let yourselves down from a set piece at Everton. And when you look at Chelsea, they've got Kurt Zouma, who's statistically up there for scoring headers. You've got Thiago Silva, who scored from a header yesterday. You know, they're up there for scoring goals from set pieces. Are we going to learn our lesson going into the Chelsea game? This is where my problem with Arteta is, because I see this as excuses. I see this as cop-outs. I haven't seen or heard one solution beyond the vague, it's my job sort of thing. Stop talking to me about percentages, you know. Percentage don't mean it. What percentage was it Leicester was going to win the league? The first game they ever won of that season, you know. It don't make sense. What percentage was it that Portsmouth were going to win the FA Cup or Wigan were going to beat City? Football is won on paper. I mean, football isn't won on paper. It's won on the football field. I don't care about percentages. I don't care about these statistics without context. What does that mean? What does that mean? Because there's been games, you've won games with having 0 shots and less shots and things. But when it's us, we say it's master tactician. It's, you know, signs of a good team when you're not playing well. This is dead. Bro, this is big Arsenal 15th. It's not down to 25% chance of winning and stuff. But he said, It's pretty tricky. I'm telling you, last year we were winning games with a 25% chance of winning, but we were so efficient when we get into that position. I hear that, but you had belief. You beat Liverpool twice. You beat City. You beat Chelsea because you had belief. Whether it is a belief because you gave it to them, a bounce from a new manager, shackles freed, you had belief. Football isn't won on paper. You know, that's why we won those games. So where is that fight spirit? Just damn right tactics gone now. This sounds mad. When I'm hearing you, what you're talking about crosses, and I'm looking at the statistics that you like, we're putting 33 crosses, but only 2 are hitting someone. You know, what's going on? We're having 10 shots in the second half against Everton, but none are on target. You know, it's like when we look at the Everton game, the Spurs game, the Wolves game, we sit here and we say, oh yeah, there was a bit of fight back in the second half. But when you look deeper into it, it's meaty. It's dead. It's not making sense. And he also said, this is football, but if you're constantly on 60s and 70%, long term, you are going to win more matches. And this is what we have to try to do. And we believe sustain that, but still improve, because there's a reason why you don't win it. And that's what we have to change. And, you know, I've seen us have high percentages of possession and do nothing with it. And that's another thing that annoys me with Arteta, because you've been in that environment with Pep where possession for the sake of it is discouraged. Passing to disrupt the opposition is a thing. And I saw that last year with us, you know, when you look at Nico Williams in the Community Shield, or Kyle Walker against Aubameyang, or, you know, Pepe and whatnot. I don't see any of this passing to disrupt the opposition. I see winging it. I see freestyling. I see randomness. I see panic across the players, across the club above you, and ultimately yourself. So I'm not buying that one. I'm not rocking with that one. I don't get that one personally. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Frankie has said, and also pin tweet, people, live stream business, 7:15 today, Arsenal versus City. Make sure you're all there if you like my commentary. Frankie has said, do you think if we lose to City and Chelsea, he will be sacked still or not? I think it's the Brighton one, because I think when they look at it, they might say, yo, all right, cool, the form we're in, you know, City are going to hand it to us, and it is the cup. It's probably, they're probably looking at it as, it's not the biggest sort of, it might be embarrassing, the result, but in terms of priorities, can you still get Europa League from that? Because this changes everything. But apart from that, it's a thing where they might say, cool, the Yarabel wasn't a priority at all. You know, you lose that. Chelsea, cool. There's question marks. You need to put in a performance. I think the Brighton one. Look how many times Brighton have won from home, won at home since the last time they beat us, and then go and look at when we're playing them, sort of thing. Yeah, man. I'm not too sure. I think the Brighton one is where it could be lost. I do, obviously, depending on the manner and the tone and what comes out the club, he could. But I think the Brighton one, if you lose to Brighton, it's a bit like Una Emery in that Europa League one, in that it was chuggling, and it just felt like, all right, cool, something had to change, man. Like you said, bro, percentages don't mean nothing in football. The only percentages I care about is who scored the most goals, and who's got the 3 points. None of that means anything. Possession only means something if you win. Like, you know, percentages only mean something if you win. And games are on fine margins. And this is the sort of intent I thought Arteta was going to come with. And I don't see it, man. You know? Nobody, again, we can talk about percentages, but the eyes don't lie, man. Bro, man, talking about basketball, trust the percentages. It's a joke thing, people. It don't make no sense. There's 655 of you in here. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. It means a lot to me. So yeah, man, that's what Arteta is saying. It ain't making much sense, people, really and truly, but that's what the man is saying, innit? Next, obviously, let's talk about the cost of potential relegation to Arsenal, because I've seen a lot of you, you know, a lot of you are saying, can we stream games if we go down to the Championship and things like that? So yeah, let's count the cost of this. Let me check that the screen's actually changed. Yes, it has, people. Daily Mail Business, and I'm not a fan of any of these newspapers, but, you know, I think it makes it more interactive. So here you go. I've got a pop-up blocker now. You lot told me to get one, so I don't know what going for this thing, but you're going to need to move. You know, Arsenal stars face getting their salaries slashed by 25% if they are relegated from the Premier League, which would knock an eye-watering 37.5 million off their enormous annual wage bill. Most of these players would look to leave, people, but we'll have to see. You know, bro, you know, this is how much we shell out in wages. And, you know, I have no problem, especially it's not my money, but I have no problem with the wages. It's just when you look at where we are in the table, the only places we excel is money spent previously, money, you know, ticket prices, and probably for the Adidas and all these commercial businesses. We don't, from football perspectives, we don't do anything. Pardon me. A lot of you say relegation might not be a thing. Personally, I can only see relegation because that's the situation we're in. When we get 40 points, or I see a bit more consistency, then I can think about something else. But I also feel that whole too good to get relegated mentality is what the players shouldn't have. Complacency is what's been killing this club. They need to consider that some of them will not be Premier League footballers if they go down at Arsenal. Some of you will be struggling to play in the Championship, you know. Fix it. Consider relegation. Your age mates are Fulham, Sheffield United, and whoever else is down there. Forget about Spurs. Forget about Chelsea. Forget about United. Forget about City. Definitely forget about Liverpool and Leicester based on the table. You're not with that. You're not with that. Look how many points separate 10th from first within reason. And again, I don't like this if word, because if I never had a Willie, I'd be a female, people. You know, ifs and buts don't mean anything. If I was shorter, if I was taller, if I was quicker, I might have been better, you know. I might have been a footballer. I don't like this if business. We only have to deal with the facts. And if you lot did care, you know, you wouldn't be where you are. Facts are we sit 15th, you know. We're a running joke. You got, you know, forget Aubameyang's wages, you know, because it's not a thing where you get everyone. It's just collective mediocreness. But even if Arsenal, who are one of England's traditional big six and were hoping to be in the mix of the Champions League qualification this season, have preempted the financial chaos relegation would cause and have included payout clauses in players' contracts. So obviously, when players sign, you know, our advisors, as unrealistic as it might have previously looked, you know, we have considered the possibility years before. So again, you lot might lose 25%, and considering some of you have taken wage cuts already, issues. That's our top earners, people. And to be fair, only one of those deserve it, you know. We didn't put a gun to Ozil's head. I think Ozil could have been better towards the end of his career if we didn't mess him about, as well as he's been poor as well. You know, you look at Lacazette again. You're not going to give Lacazette a new deal. He might even walk on a free. He's not, you know, the things we bought Lacazette for, he's not doing it. I didn't buy we didn't ask for Lacazette to come and say passion and desire and work rate and linking up with players and getting the best out of a couple other players. We bought him for 52 million. You should be able to do these things. These are minimums. You know, the Lacazette we thought we was getting isn't that. Or Aubameyang might not be at this club. I know Aubameyang's form's been woeful, but there's only one man. The hell did Willian do? You know, his agent's done a hell of a job because he probably got a sign-on fee. He's probably got all sorts of bonuses in his contract. There's even rumors, you know, there's an option of a 4th year with Willian, you know, so that's an L. Absolute joke, mock of a club. And this is what I mean by the nonsense. Kroenke condones the nonsense because ultimately it's his football club. If he had something to say, things would change. But as much as I want him to leave and I want him to go, I can't just sit here and say the Kroenkes, because the people below them that have been in charge of small little things, they've mismanaged money with how they're signing the free transfers they're signing, with the poor scouting, with the amount of, you know, you look through our squad and you see mediocre, and then you look at the wages, it becomes baffling. You know, the only consistency we have shown is consistency in making the wrong decisions. You know, apparently it's gone on to say it's unclear whether the 25% figure is a club-wide stance, but numerous players are known to be on that percentage reduction in the event of relegation. The Gunners are 4 points above the relegation zone, having gained just 2 points from their last 7 games. The prospect of them facing a fight to stay in the top division would, in normal circumstances, be unthinkable. But as you don't know, we're doing a shocking thing right now, and I think that is the end of that article. So again, the cost of relegation could be a gazy one, people. So, you know, you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Finally, people, so what we've spoken about Holding's new deal. Well, it's not even finally, but we've spoken about Holding's new deal. We've spoken about transfers. Again, I don't like to do all the scare tactics business, but the Express has said Arteta has 7 days to save his job. And, you know, considering one of you said to me, Frankie said, you know, what happens if he loses to Chelsea and City? I don't personally know, but this might give an indication. Scroll down. Mikel Arteta has 3 games to save his job, reckons former Ghana winger Perry Grove. So again, it's just a personal opinion of someone. Let's actually get into what he actually said, people. So the next 3 games we play, Manchester City, Chelsea, and I think it's Brighton away. He went on to say, if there's lackluster performances continue over the next 3 games, our fans actually telling me, yeah, we'll stick with Arteta. I think he's got 3 games. And like he saw with Arteta, he said, from within the club, I am feeling is just support, encouragement, and total confidence that we'll get through this together. Everyone believes in the manager until they don't, you know. And that's smart, you know. Externally, he never reads what's happening. That won't be the smartest thing to do, really and truly. So again, an article of nothing really. I didn't read it before that. I thought it'd be of something. Um, let's get into this, people. Apparently Catalin Surjan has apparently, and I want to hope, is this still showing you guys it? No, it's not showing you it, people. So I'm gonna get into it. But apparently Catalin Surjan, a midfielder, you know, creative midfielder, can play as an 8, can learn, in my opinion, in the future to play as a 10. Predominantly for the 23s this season, he's been on the flanks. I know a lot of you remember me, you know, I've done a few videos on him, bigging him up. And this season, coming into this season, I think I said he had a good season last year, and I think he's going to have a better one now. I didn't think he'd be promoted into the first team, and it's still unclear as to whether he's officially done it. I know his agent has come out and made this tweet, people, and I don't know the context of it. It could just mean he's been training on a regular basis, or it could mean he's been legitly promoted. And I think what would that? I don't know what that means for other young players, but I'm pretty. Let me just go back quickly. Can you not see this? Yes, you can. Happy to confirm, you know, the man here, Catalin Surjan, always get his names mixed up, is now officially part of the Arsenal first team squad. He's got fantastic progress ahead of him. He'll work and achieve his dreams. Now, not too many young players are getting opportunities in the first team, but it would be a remarkable rise because since he's got here, he's played well. I really like him. He's got fantastic technical abilities. You know, he's got an engine. He never hides. He looks to get on the ball. He's got a good engine. You know, he's a bit like a Duracell bunny rabbit. He'll never stop running. Still think there's a bit more personality to come out. He could be a bit more demanding. Sometimes I don't think he shows for the ball enough, but he doesn't hide. Can hit a free kick, got extreme confidence, like you saw against Gillingham with the penalty he took. You know, really like him, man. And he's a driven individual. He's actually said happy birthday to me once as well. I really like him as a person. He's very much switched on. People, he's gonna have a good future in the game. He's very much an Arsenal player. He can play as a 10, he can play as an 8. He's done that false sort of winger stuff on the flanks. He could do a thing, and I'm all for that, people. I want to see him, Patino, Aziz, all of these players be promoted. I wonder what it means for Aziz, because, you know, Aziz ain't been promoted officially, and Ben Koch and people that have made their debuts and things. I wonder what that means. At the end of the day, things can happen. Like I said, I don't know if this is lost in terminology and it just means he's been training on a regular basis with the first team, but if he has been promoted, it's a good look. I wonder what it means for our January business, because we still need to sign players. I'd imagine initially, because of how we're playing, you know, he's going to train and be part of the first team, but he's predominantly going to play on the 23s games and then make the step up. I think he's got a future in the game, and I hope it's here, people. So I'm proud of him. If he has been officially promoted, he's a good player and he's been playing well. So well deserved for him, people, really, really and truly. That's the tweet of his agent. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Make sure you're checking the pinned tweet because, like I said, 7:15, watch along business. If we quickly, again, I always like to make sure it's showing you like this. We're going into the Metro quickly. You know, apparently, Mikel Arteta permanently promotes Catalin Surjan to Arsenal's first team training sessions. Okay, so it's to the training sessions ahead of Tuesday evening. And this might mean he might make his debut. You know, and he was fast. I wouldn't say he's fast tracked. He was just naturally promoted because he played well. Again, the media need to stop with this. So yeah, he's doing his thing. Apparently, you know, his representative said from today he'll only train for the seniors. He's confidently waiting on his debut. I do think he'll still take part in 23's games and whatnot. And this is what you want to see, people, you know, other prospects, Miguel Aziz, Balogun with the contract stuff still over him. Ben Cottrell's been working well. And I've been really impressed with Mola. I'm never going to be, you know me, I watch the youth football. Like, there's a lot more than I actually could say. I'm never going to be the one guys to sensationalize things, but that Muller guy is decent. You know, he drops deep. He's not the quickest. He uses his body well, but he doesn't rely on his physical stature. He tries to link up play. His movement's good. He doesn't hide. Another one who I think he's just joined the club, so maybe a bit more personality, but I like him. I really like him. Money well spent. I believe I think he was in Sweden, so big up him, man. Very good player. And apart from that, there is nothing else in this article of substance, but big up Surgeon for that, man. Hopefully, you know, he does his thing. I do think he's a very good player. Bro, they need to give him that. If I was a club in Germany or another Premier League team, I'm looking at Kiddo Taylor. He played very well against Rotherham's under 18s. He's been bossing it at 23's level from pre-season. He's played with hunger. We just needed him to stay fit. And he's one of those, I genuinely feel he could be like Josh Martin. You know, you look at Josh Martin. Josh Martin couldn't buy a game at Arsenal, and now he's playing week in, week out for Norwich. If you don't know who I'm referring to, it's this done. You know, he couldn't buy he couldn't buy a thingy, couldn't buy a game, people. And now he's 19, turning 20 next year. You know, he's made his debut for Norwich. He signed in March. You know, he had a trial and he signed in March. He couldn't buy a game at Arsenal, like I said, people. And he can play on either flanks. He's someone that was highly rated, and I think he should be. He's got ability, people. And ironically, he's from Luton, so that must mean, you know, it's quite local for them Norwich, man. They always get them ex-players. Move this sneak off my thing, man. Who's that? That's that YouTuber, brother. Look, he's made 10 appearances for Norwich, 2 in the league. Well, 2, and got 2 goals and 1 assist, you know, 8 in the league. Obviously, he's not a regular like that, but, you know, he couldn't buy a game for the under-18s. And now, look, he's played in the Championship, and you'd imagine with Norwich, he's going to do good there. You know, you've got him. I'm pretty sure Norwich will try and make Oliver Skip a permanent signing from Spurs. So it's never the end. You've also got Nathan Tella, hasn't been doing too much. He's 21 years of age, but another one who couldn't buy a game really. And he's made 4 Premier League appearances just here, people. And he's playing for Southampton and doing his thing. At base level, football is a funny old game of opinions. If any of you were wondering who this was, the guy that gave a penalty away against Burnley, you know, another one that he wasn't going to have a future at Arsenal. A couple years ago now, he's 21. You know, he went to Burnley, and now he's played in the Premier League. How many appearances has he made for Burnley? You know, so football's a funny old game of opinions, people, and I genuinely think Kiddo Taylor Hart would be one of them. As you can see, Josh has played 90 minutes and played 9 games. 3 in the EFL Cup, you know, 3 in the Premier League. And to be fair, it's 6 because that's in the Premier League too. So that's for the reserves that don't count. He's played 6 times at first team level. So football's a funny old game of opinions. And I feel Kiddo Taylor Hart is someone we've got to sign, man. We've got to really sign, you know, sign to a new deal. So yeah, man. Good baller. Very good baller. Very good baller. So yeah, man. Is there anything else? Let me see. So there's that. We done touched on that. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. And this is the shameless plug of the old vid. Shameless plug. You know, I'm gonna drop the link for those of you who want it. Bit of a shameless plug from a shameless tug. Hey, can you not see this? Yo, Charles Watts. So what this, brother? Said my thing after playing that. What are you lot seeing, people? The plug. That brother needs to cut his hair. What's this? But yeah, cheeky little plug of that, people. I even got a video on Roman on that Omar Rekic guy. As you lot can see, I'm obviously streaming, so at the risk of mashing up the internet. Let me skip. So yeah, man, check that one out, people. I'm conscious of the internet, people, so I'm not gonna play it. But yeah, man, like I said, Catalan Surgeon has first team potential, and next season he'll be even better. That was on the 25th. And again, this ain't to say I'm right. This is to say I'm actually watching youth football. And again, he's been playing in the training sessions. That doesn't mean you're playing, but you know, if you're training well, that means you're doing something, because you've got to remember some man do well at under 18s level. They get promoted, and they let the session down, so they never come back. So this must mean there's some confidence. Bro, Charlie McNeil's a bad boy. You know, City's loss is Manchester City's gain. He's scoring goals for fun. He's bullying teams. He's like that Jude guy at Chelsea. They're the 2 strikers I'm seeing just bullying man for free at that level, people. You know, so that's that in that regards. My face is looking all mad, so I'm gonna stop sharing that screen looking clapped. Bro, big up my man, innit? But I don't know why he's showing it to me or my thing. So yeah, big up you lot, man. Bro, big up Daniel Marlon. He needs to return home. So yeah, people, the link is in. Is that the link? Yeah, that's the link. Make sure you're checking out. Make sure you check out for those of you who want to know more about Catalan Surgeon. That's what I'm saying. It's lagging, so I stopped playing it, man. I was doing the most. So I thought I'd just drop the link, but I'd show you lot regardless. So yeah, man, get up the likes. What else, man? Let's take some questions, man. Like he said, people, afternoon deluded, don't forget to like, people. It doesn't cost a thing to like, people. It really doesn't. I know I've been doing you lot dirty and not paying you guys attention. So what have you guys been saying in the thing, man? Do you know anything about the Portuguese midfielder we've been linked with? I need more I need more thingy. What's the word? Information than that. Are you talking about Fabio Vieira, which he's a decent little player for Porto, and whatnot? Bro, I hope you're right. Not necessarily with the manager being gone, because I would like it to be a success. But if he needs to walk, he needs to walk. But definitely about the not going down part, I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. But my thing is, we need to just we got to just see relegation. That's all we can do, man. Yeah, man. Big up you lot. You lot going active in the comments, man. Renato Sanchez. Big up yourself, all the Pakistani tugs. Come on, I really appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you in advance as well. Merry Christmas to your family. Merry Christmas to everyone here, man. Bro, Daniel Marlin's a bad boy striker, but we wanted to keep Eddie Nketiah. Crazy, bro. Jenks BBK has said, not a question, but just want to say, as a non-Arsenal fan, your content is class. I really appreciate that, my guy. And long may it continue. Man said you look like a Sabio. Hopefully I do. You know, if that would get me in your mum's pants, why not? Do you think Laka needs to go? Well, we're not going to give him a new deal. Let's keep it moving. I think he's a good player, very confident on the ball. You see it with the way he's coming out at the back and whatnot. But yeah, man, I think he's a good player. He's confident on the ball. He likes to defend. I do think he's very naive, and he has been showing that in incidences at Ipswich. But he's a young man learning the tricks and trades of the game. Can't expect anything different, really and truly, people. It's not going to mean anything. Bro, bad boy footballer, bad boy. The former Monaco lad now at United, bad boy footballer, bad boy baller. It could be something to consider if we're going to carry on like this. What's your preferred front three going forward? Well, right now I'm feeling that if Aubameyang's fit, Aubameyang through the middle, Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, man. I'm not really feeling nobody else, really and truly. Pepe can get a look in. Hey man, there's nothing wrong with Eusebio. There's nothing wrong. He's a bad boy footballer. I'm just asking, if your mother likes Eusebio, then why not? DG's thing. But yeah, man. Any advice on starting a channel? Wish I had some, but I don't. I'd say just be consistent. Just make sure it's something you truly want to do in your heart. Because I'm not going to sit here and lie. This thing gets tough. Sometimes there's things going on in my personal life. There's things I've had to sacrifice because I've made a commitment to you guys to be here. So you've got to want to be successful more than you want to breathe. I don't have the biggest channel, so I can't give you any advice. But what I have to say is that I love speaking to you guys. I just want to. For me, I just want to keep getting this better and better and challenging myself and seeing what I can walk out with, man. Really and truly, like what I can make it, like look back one day and see what it can be in it, sort of thing. So yeah, man. Good centre half, I've done a video on him, cheeky plug. Go and check that out. Back in the days before it was even a thing. I rate Omari Hutchinson too, big man, baller. Would love Lamperty, but he's costing 30, 40 to even start a conversation, so it's a mad thing. I'd love to say I think we're going to spend. We need to spend, but I don't have a clue, my guy. I hope so, but I'm not seeing anything concrete to suggest we might. Pardon me. What else have you guys got to say? I like him. He can play as centre half and as well as right back. I like him, and he's been playing well in the champs. I would take him, but two players aren't going to make the difference. The biggest thing that will make a difference is the mentality of this whole club and as well as the players. Shout out to your guy. Shout out to your brother Theo, Patrick, man. Don't know. I would have loved Sam Greenwood to stay, but he's training with Leeds, his first team, so the move's been backed up. Shout out to Sam Greenwood, very nice guy. He had a lot of time for when I interviewed him, and he's going from strength to strength with Leeds. I think I need to do a video on him and the players that have since departed and things like that, man. Only just saw you hit 30K. It's no worries, man. Come on, people. It doesn't mean anything. Thank you very much for the likes. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Respect DG for the hard work. I appreciate you guys being here, man. What's the galley saying? I don't know, my guy. Just sit here and make videos about football. My life is quite boring. Bring me if you got any dough. Now I'm guessing people are listening and they're gonna say, "Oh, you think you're funny?" So let me stop with them jokes there. What else? 200 followers, subscribers since yesterday because we grafting, man. We keep grafting, we keep grinding, man. Bro, to be fair, that's probably why my mother beat me black and blue when I was younger for my smart mouth. You know, when I've always had a smart mouth and things. Unfortunately, I tried to watch my mouth. I've been going through my whole life. Oh, one day someone's gonna have something to say to you. Well, I'm still here, doing this for years, and nobody said anything. No one. Another shameless one, Baller, and he's going from strength to strength at Gladbach. Baller would love him. Is it mad? I would. Nope, it's not. You know, Buendia, Cantwell, Aaron's. I wanted Ben Godfrey personally. So yeah, man. LFC Aaron has said, great channel. Keep up the good fight, mate. I appreciate that. Love for that £2 you just paid for. Wait, fact, well, yeah, you have, man. I could get a cheeseburger with that. So we're getting some Smarties, we're getting some cheeseburgers. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Bring back Fabregas, maybe a few years too late, my broski. Not too sure. Samuels has said, was it Basuma who laughed at us on the pitch? Yes, it was him. I mean, people laughing at Arsenal. It could be anyone. It could be the man down the street. It could be professional footballers. Everyone laughs at Arsenal. I genuinely think other teams link up and get the popcorn to laugh at Arsenal, personally. So yeah. Right, big up yourself, Pommy. You're quite the guy, man. You're the sort of guys I need as sponsors. You're working in Taiwan, you're based in Australia, and you're from England. You're getting the bands. You're moving like Roman Abramovich. Come invest in DG thing. Let's get some better graphics and do a Mazzoline. Now I'm playing. Love for that. I think he's slotted in fairly well since he's joined the club from Spurs or from a free transfer. I think he's punching to suggest he'll make it, but I'm open to being proved wrong. And what do I know, really? Better than what I thought. Baller, bro. Baller. You've seen him get his first red card in the professional game. Baller. His height's not a concern. He's stocky and he's going to get better. And he's been playing as a fullback as well as a cam. You know, height only matters when you ain't got the mentality. Look at Bernardo Silva. Look at Roy Keane. When you ain't got the mentality, the height and the physical thing means something. You know. Why do you think Arsenal got cash? Okay. Trust me, they're not around no more. They're not around no more, my guy. Big up yourself, Wayne. A man said, this is quality content, DJ. I try, man. I try. Good vibes. I try, man. I try. The levels are very high. I try, man. I try. Bro, complacency, an air of complacency. Just assumed that everything was fixed based on a couple, like 5-6 games. And then we went into this assuming we were on a level and we've written wrongs that weren't wrong. We've written wrongs that haven't, we've written wrongs that still need to be wrote. We acted like we've done it already. It ain't made sense. Ultimately, complacency, failing to plan. So we've ultimately made the decision to fail, sort of thing. Two different sorts of players, but would be open to it, my guy. Absolute baller, gonna be a serious baller. You know him, Ihataren, Oliver. They're the players I'm looking at, people, man, as to be ballers of tomorrow, sort of thing. Only the culture is getting it, bro. I've done a video on him, baller. I think he stepped up to 23s. He always plays up. So yeah, man. It's a regret just not signing competent players, my bro. I'm on your neck. For the calling show. Hey man, if there's a way to do it without one thing I'm not trying to do is have that sneaky moment. To be fair, it could probably go viral and that will get more things for the brand. But I'm gonna call someone and they're gonna say some clever play on words like ICUP, and I'm gonna say that, or he's gonna call and move mad. You know, it has to be a bit more structured. It's got to be a bit more structured, man. Man said hide the likes, hide your girl, man. Because I know, say she's watching Deluded right now, even with no haircut, I'm still probably better looking than you. It's all right, B. I'm only one person. There's not enough of me to go around, but you've got to deal with your man, I'm sure he buys you nice things. He might not be able to lay it down in the bedroom and that. He might not be able, he might not be good to look at, but I'm sure he's got a nice personality. But, when you're doing the birds and the bees with him, this is the face you're imagining. So shout out to you. Big up you, bro. What does this Arsenal team need? Well, evidently it needs, for me, 2 midfielders minimum. We need to sort out what we're doing with a left back. Centre half needs to be sorted out as well. There's still a grey area excluding Gabriel. Right wing needs to be sorted out. But for me, I'd say before I even talk about transfers, I genuinely feel mentality through top to bottom. That's what needs to change. At this point, I wouldn't mind him starting, but I do think it's naive on my part to assume he would start and be thrown in. And would it necessarily be the best of management if you've alienated a Donny by now, and then you're going to throw a young, inexperienced by your own logic, you're going to throw him into a game where, you know, our season doesn't depend on it, but there's a lot of question marks if we get battered. It's not going to make sense, is it really and truly? True, man. Don't know about the best ever, but keep going, man. We keep going. We keep going. Like I said, and like you said, Liberty, complacency, complacency. Looks a beast. He is, man. He is a beast. I like Brewster, but he must be stressed out at Sheffield. You know, when Sheffield or if Sheffield United go down, he might get more game time. I don't understand why he's not playing, but it is what it is, man. Bro, hide your girl, bro. I don't know what he's on. Like, pre-record it. That's dead. Then I swear that kind of misses the point of being a live calling show. Or am I missing something? I swear that kills the point. Done a video on him. Well, done a video on him. We've spoken about him. So scroll back across the live stream, man. Personally, I think Matt Smith is someone that I would like to give him a chance in the first team, but I think he's someone that's probably going to put himself in the shop window and be sold. And if I was him, I wouldn't want to go back to playing 23s. And if I get an offer from the championship or someone, I'd go, because I think Matt Smith is going to have a decent part in the game. I think him and Daniel Ballard will have a decision to make in the summer. Have a serious decision to make. Love for that, Esther. Final league prediction finish, don't know, but I have to assume the one we're currently facing ourselves in now, because nothing is getting better at all, man. I don't personally know what Hugh has, but I can add to him. Tweety Pie, I swear that guy's racist. Hey, man, I don't know about top YouTuber. I'm just trying to be me, man. I'm just trying to do my thing and have my little brand and my little, you know, DG Nation thing. I ain't interested in all of that, man. I'll have your channel on for the watch along. Good chat, different depth and levels. Keep it up. You got this. I love that, man. Love that, and I appreciate that, man. Please make sure you're all checking out the pinned message. Live stream business later, 7:15 UK time. Big decent, but I'd pass. Smash up the like button, people. Come on, smash up the like button. There must be a way to screen calls, but there's always one Donny that will get over that. You know, there's one, because if I say something like members, because that was the first thought that went through my head, because members, obviously you pay to be a member on my channel, so you're less likely to do dumb stuff. But there's one Donny that's gonna become a member just to be a neat sort of thing. Do you get it? You know, and it's like you said, you could just do members call-ins. You know, I don't mind the troll thing, but it's just gonna dead it, people. Soon, man. You lot on me soon. What you lot saying? I should be the new Robbie or something? Like, hey, man, that's what you man are basically saying, man. That's what you man are basically saying. No one can revive this team alone, but shout out to Martinelli. But I don't know. Only fans. All right. We might use a discourse thing. Right, I don't know if I need a channel away from football. I don't know if I have the personality for that or if I have things to talk about. I'm just a football guy, my guy, man. All right, man. I'll look at that. I'll look at that. You man are on me. Hey, Wayne, I might have to block you because you're getting the people turning them against me and gassing them about your ideas, bro. If there's any chance, we've got to get him. And to be fair, I don't think it's an attitude thing. I think it's a lack of a pathway. Like anyone at City, and everyone goes through them. So I think I would love to get him, but why would you come to Arsenal? You're seeing William play, and you're seeing people like Nelson not getting chances. He needs to go elsewhere. I appreciate that, my guy. I appreciate that. Started watching. Hey, man, we've been through some tough times in my life, man. Personally, that was a serious situation. But I thought, guys had no job prospects, lack of P's, thought life was going nowhere, just sitting in Tottenham marshes, just thinking, yo, why is my life so dead? And it was nice to be able to go back there and come through it, man. I appreciate that, man. Man said, have I ever been heartbroken? What's this? Is that another man asking me that? That's some funny boy question. Allow that, man. But no. Allow that, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys each and every time, man. I don't know who's hating on me in the comments, but shout out to you getting on them, man. It's a joke, man. It's just not making sense. Like, it's not. There's no clarity. How can we expect him to be that man of tomorrow? That in France, sorry, apologies, France international, Rolls Royce of a defender. If there's not really building blocks towards taking him there, that's one pet peeve I have with Arsenal. That we have a man with potential, but we don't do anything with that. We just keep them here. There's no active steps to realizing that potential. Like, there's no 6 months. This is what we want you to do. This is where we want you to be. 12 months. 18 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. Do you get it? I don't think there's that. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Trust the trolls are just a thingy, man. I know I have a lot of Spurs fans in this, and I know Dylan's out here saying, "Come on, you Spurs." Hey, man, what's that bad smell, bro? Nope, I don't think he's as bad as people make out, but he's not as good enough for this level. So myth, absolute myth, absolute myth. And I think when you're still out here talking about what is he sort of thing, they can't be a good player. Man said favorite Chris, salt and vinegar, my guy. Salt and vinegar. I like him. You talking about the Shakhtar Don? He's all right still. He's all right still. We're getting our asses handed to us. I hope I'm wrong, but I can't say anything but that. I already answered that. Love, Pakistan, you lot haven't really been taking me in, but lately we're seeing all the Pakistan brothers coming. So big up all the Pakistan ones out there. Love from Pakistan. Love your content. Straightforward and real. Merry Christmas to everyone watching. I echo that. Merry Christmas and seasonal greetings and Happy New Year and the rest of all of that stuff to those of you who are there, man. Decent little striker, really. More rated this thing at Celta Vigo than how he's moving at Valencia. Ain't been paying attention to him like that at Valencia. Beyond occasionally watching Yunus Musa, but he's got potential to be better, and there's that resale value. So why not, man? Come on. This is lovely, people. Let's see what else you lot got to say. Money. Obviously, the manager has to play a part, but money, man. But he needs to go on loan, man. He's not levels right now. He needs to go on loan. He's only 21, so I don't want to write him off, but he needs to go out on loan, or we need to think about selling him with a sell-on clause sort of thing, man. Yeah. Emma said, yeah, bro, he played against us as well. Again, decent against us, and he's been good. I have to monitor that one there's development, man. So yeah, man. But people, anyways, man, we've been here for 1 hour and 26 minutes. I'm going to keep it moving, bearing in mind there's a live stream later. I like to think I've given you some decent content. I'm going to be back again. Please make sure you hit the like button if you haven't. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you've hit that. Obviously, if you're wondering where the Deluded content is, the DG podcast has just landed as well. Came out this morning. So if you're on Spotify, Apple, if you're a cheapskate and you want to go on Anchor, go and hit up all of that as well. Make sure you're big up the Twitch gang as well. And make sure if you're on Twitch, you're following me as well. Deluded Guna 187. All the other socials are thingy. All the other socials are in my description, man. So it means a lot. Man said, so I really appreciate you lot, man. Man's from the exotic land of Nottinghamshire. Big up yourself. Mads, I appreciate that, man. We keep going. Big up the members. Big up M as well. Baza. What a name. I always love man with them names there. Baza. What are you saying, Baza? Shout out to your work ethic. And tell me what you think about, do you think Arteta is not giving youngsters more chances so the senior players can be held accountable? I just think he's not giving them chances because he doesn't trust them, in my opinion. Why he doesn't trust them, I don't know. Love for your praise, in my humble opinion as well, my guy. Yeah, man. Come on, people. Obviously, he's lost the dressing room. Fair play. Big up yourself and shout out to you, SNSNS. Yo, man. Shout out to you, man. Saliba's contract isn't running down, bro. He just signed a 5 or so year deal, man. Twitch gang, I never forget you, man. Come on, the Twitch gang. I'm off to actually go and make some of you moderators in a second, actually. I don't know how you do the Twitch thing, but I'm going to make you moderators over YouTube. One thing at a time, man. We got the Trinidad tugs locked in, man. Really appreciate you lot, man. Enjoy. Hey, Derek, I'm going to enjoy my day until we come back to this Arsenal stuff, my guy. So, yeah, man. I hope you all can enjoy your day as well. I'll be back not before too long. Check out the content that's already out there. You know me, and I hang around like a bad smell. You never really get away from me. So, yeah, I hope to see you all there on the live stream. If not, I'll catch you lot on on the rebound. So yeah, man. People, DG, I'm out, man.